Hey guys, what's up? This is Panstar Dragon, and today we'll be analyzing ganks like a pro. This video is supposed to help you analyze ganks and determine what you need to be doing in each of the gank. You know, some people walk in a lane expecting to get a kill or doing something, and then they kinda get nothing out of it, or it's a bad gank or something like that. So in this video we'll be analyzing some ganks and going really in depth on what should be going through your head and predicting most of the outcomes of the ganks. So when we analyze these ganks, we'll be discussing what should happen and what your goal is. With that being said, let's get started. Alright, so first off, I'm going to be listing off key points when we're looking into a gank. First off, we're going to be looking at the playstyle of the enemy. Is he playing aggressive or is he playing passive? If he's playing aggressive, that means the ganks are going to be much more easier since he's going to be playing much more up and he may be using his escapes onto the enemy to get some harass. If he's playing passive and a bit more back, it means he's going to be much more harder to gank and it leaves you susceptible to counter ganks. Next up, we'll be looking at what summoner spells the enemy has, mainly Flash, since Flash is basically a get out of jail for free card. If he has Ghost and you don't have Ghost, then basically you can't catch up to him if he starts running. And then we'll be looking at if the enemy has dashes or teleports. For instance, Graves has a dash and Kassadin has his Rift Walk, and when they have dashes or teleports, it just makes it much more harder to gank, and so you do have to think about if they have that up or not. And then next up, we'll be looking at where the enemy put his wards and then figuring a path how to get to his lane without being seen by these wards. Then we look at how much CC we can pack into the gank, you know, how long can we lock down this person so that we can damage him before he gets out of it. And then just instinctive stuff like how much damage we have to output onto the enemy, is the enemy tanky, you know, looking at stats. There are probably much more factors that I haven't listed when looking into a gank, but honestly probably most of them do come instinctively. And with all this being said, it's time to analyze our first gank. Alright, so in this clip we'll be ganking the Malzahar, and the information that we're given is that he has his flash up and he hasn't warded yet since he hasn't left the lane. Now what the objective of this gank is going to be is to burn his flash, because we know that since if I hit my EQ combo onto him and he gets like CC'd and takes a lot of damage, he will either be driven out of the lane or die, and he knows that too, so he's going to burn a flash if my EQ combo is going to land. So we're going to set up this gank for a level 6 gank later on, you'll see in this video. And the reason I ward this is because I don't want Kha'Zix to counter gank me, since I'm kind of deep into their territory. And so right here I go into the gank, or, you know, around the cliff, and right here it seems like he knows where I am, so he walks back and I say, okay, I can't gank this guy. But what he actually does and makes a big mistake is that I haven't actually left the vicinity yet, and he actually overextends right here, and this opens up to a Jarvan gank. So right here I'm gonna burn my flash for his flash, which is fine because I can come later when I'm level 6 and kill him. And so we got his flash, and you know, he lives, but it doesn't matter. And that's the end of this clip. Let's move on to the next. Alright, so in this clip, we'll be ganking the bot lane. The information that is given is Graves has no more heal, and he doesn't have an escape, aka his dash. So what we're going to do is do our EQ combo on top of him instead of ahead of him, as if we did have a dash, and we did EQ combo onto him, he could just dash away from us and we wouldn't be near him, and he could kite us, etc, etc. And so since I know all of his escapes are down, I EQ combo onto him, but Thresh actually gets a really good flay onto me, so instead we're just going to go onto his Thresh, and we're going to back away since our cooldowns are down, and then we're going to push the lane. And since we know all the summoners on the bot lane are down, Thresh's flash and, you know, Graves' flash too, we'll be returning here later, shortly, in another clip. Alright, so we're going to be returning to the bot lane, and the information that is given is Thresh and Graves have no summoners, and the information that we can assume is that this bush right here and this tri-bush right here aren't warded since the enemy bot lane has only returned. But once this Thresh goes, you know, MIA, we can assume that either this tri-bush or this river is warded, so we're just going to go through this bush and wait until one of them face checks this bush or gets in range of my EQ combo. Even if they are in range of it, we cannot kill them since Blitz isn't here yet, but once he is, we can definitely kill someone and, you know, get the CC chain combo, because what's going to happen is I'm going to EQ onto someone, Blitz is going to grab that person, and then we're going to get a CC chain combo onto that person. Hopefully it's going to be Graves. But what happens is a glitch happens and I go right through Graves with my EQ combo. So we can't focus him anymore since Lucian and Blitz aren't there, so we have to switch our focus to the Thresh. And you know, unfortunately a bug does happen and I die for it, but you know, it would have been maybe an easy double kill if that wouldn't have happened, or you know, Graves could have kept running, or Thresh, someone could have kept running. But you know, stuff happens, and that's the end of this clip. Let's move on to the next. Alright, so in this gank we'll be ganking the Malzahar, and the information that is given is we know his flash is down since our flash was burnt at the same time, and as you can see, my flash is down too. And the second information we don't have is where the wards are, so we can't really avoid it. We just have to go kind of blindly in and just react the way he's moving. So right here, it doesn't seem like he's reacting to me going towards him, so it looks like we can assume that it's not warded, and right now he's in range of my EQ combo. So all I have to do is get in range for my ulti, and he's going to be trapped for 3 seconds in the pit, and you know, Ziggs wail on him for a bit and he's gonna die, and we get the kill off that because he doesn't have his flash and I burnt it earlier. So yeah, that's the end of this clip. Let's move on to the next. Alright, so we're gonna be doing a gank on the top lane, and it's gonna be a tower dive, and I'm gonna be explaining why this tower dive is so safe. Even if Nasus was at 3/4 of hit point, this tower dive would still be really safe, as we do have the damage from Vlad and me. And the first piece of information that we have is Kha'Zix actually recalled from this place, so the jungler is not here to back him up if he gets dived. The second piece of information we get is Malzahar is mid, so he's not gonna save this Nasus from dying. And third piece of information is Nasus didn't actually go back, so there's actually no word to tell that this tower dive is happening right now. So we can safely assume that no one is going to back him up when he's going to get tower diven, and so we can do this tower dive and kill him and then back out since we got the kill. And yep, that's the end of this clip. Let's move on to the next. Alright, so in this gank we'll be ganking the Graves, and the information that is given to us is Graves knows where we are since Thresh just died, and the second information that we have is we can assume that Graves' flash and E is still up since he wasn't in this fight previously. So right here, when I try and go towards him and try and gank him, we can assume that this bush is warded since it started backing away. And so since we know that this is warded, we're just going to back out of here. And once we get the sweeper onto that, and once he actually comes back right here, this is when we know, since I do have mobility boots, I can get my EQ combo onto him and CC him with Blitz and catch him out. Now, since we assume that his flash is up or he has his dash still up, we're going to put the EQ combo a bit ahead of him instead of on him, since he will dash away and try and get away from us. So right here, the flag's going to come right here. He ease into it. He has to burn a flash because he sees that I placed it there. And now Blitz knows that since he has no summoners or escapes, he can get an easy hook if he just lands it right and, you know, puts a skill shot there. And he lands a hook, we get the kill, and then we back away from that. And yep, that's the end of this clip. Let's move on to the next. Alright, so hopefully this video helped on how I analyze ganks and determining what we do when we're going to gank. Do we want to kill? Do we want to burn a flash? Are we going to put our skill shots a bit ahead of the opponent? And how are we going to get to this gank without being seen by the enemy? As this clip plays on, I do want to tell you guys about this cool news site that I discovered called opinionpost.com. It's basically a site where you review topics like food, TV, movies, products, and politics. And in return for sharing your opinions, you can receive rewards like cash, Amazon gift cards, or even iTunes gift cards too. And there will be 10,000 quarterly prize draws for active members. Each time you participate in a survey, you receive an entry into the drawing, and there's no limit on how many entries anyone can earn. And it's free to join, but you have to be 18 years or older, and there will be a link in the description below to sign up. And if you did register with Gmail, be sure to look at the promotions tab on Gmail to see emails from Opinion Outpost. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.